Is a big thing. It's a big thing. Because Indian classical music is like ocean. Nobody can.
Can't put your finger on it.
Yeah. Yes.
It's time people took over, and we are more fragmented than we, communities in Worcester and Boston area and things like that. I think because graduate students who are older, some have families and they come with children and so on, they see themselves here as a passing through. They'll get their degree, they're moving on. They get their degree, so nobody sets any roots here. The roots are set by a handful of faculty who are involved in their own work, and they are, if they're physicists, they don't have really time. They'd love to come on one day to attend a community thing and wear Indian clothes and, participate and chit-chat. And otherwise we go into each other's house and but to organize something and to accept that responsibility of doing it, that's tough.
When the small kids are 2 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old, and the 5 years old, that small kids like the mother singing.
Yeah.
And when the young kids, that the 12-year-old, 15-year-old, 20 years, he like the rock dance and the Bollywood singing. Bollywood sing, that he like it. And that sometimes the young kids generations too highly minded. At that time they like the rock dance and the dance music. Most of the young kids like the dance music.
My name is Marindraj Bibin.
Okay.
I'm actually from South India and my state name is Kerala. So my favorite singer is Yeshudas, KJ Yeshudas. Yeah, he is a big musician as a cinematic singer as well as a classical singer. So I am really a kind of fan of him.
Aradhya Padukam Haribimardhanam.
And Chembai, like he is a real classical. Do you know the Carnatic music? Actually, in India there are several types of music type, and it's in the southern part the Carnatic music is the most popular and majority of liking the Carnatic kind of music. And in the North India, they are like Hindustani, Ghazal type of thing. I think my parents really like the Carnatic kind of music.
So, do you think that your love of the music is because it was in the home?
Yeah.
People in your age group, would you say that if they listen to classical music, it's because of their family?
Yeah, because of their parents and surroundings, the ambience.
It's just there.
Yeah.
And do you play classical Indian music to your child?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the time she is in daycare, so.
And how old is your child?
She is just 3, or going to 3.
Oh, how great! Finding local events where there's Indian music
here.
Yeah.
It's very hard.
Yeah.
Because the most of the Indians are near to south part of the America, like Texas, Houston.
What would you guess your grandparents would say about the importance of passing the classical music on to younger generations?
I think it's even my parents, my dad would say that it's very important.
It is, yeah,
It
they
is
would
very
say that.
important. Even my grandpa would say it's very important.
Yeah.
Although we didn't have as polished as classical music as South India or other places, they valued it.
Yeah.
And
So-
the training was available.
How do you say his name again? Jagjeet Singh.
He's one of the famous singers, well-known singers, not only India, Pakistan, but
Do you have children?
no, I have no children, but I will make some children.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody playing the rock. Rock is a way is only played on some special instruments, and there are very few people when they do is a kind of hypnotism. People say when the rock person keeps the glass in front of his table and he plays, and then when he concentrates, he breaks it. And take even my life, but return me my those child age timing, the rain and the paper boat when I was playing in that rain water with my paper boat. So it's a kind of devotional thing, and when you listen to this pure classical music, you are deep down there. There is a deep down message, a lot of philosophy, and a lot of enjoyment. It has its own enjoyment.
Come on. Where are you from?
I'm from New Jersey originally.
Yeah.
Now live in New York. Our company is based in Manhattan.
Yeah. Are your parents from India?
They are.
Where in India?
South India, so Tamil Nadu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm doing a research project on. You all are so beautiful. I'm stunned. So on trying to learn how Indian music, classical Indian music, is being passed on to younger generations.
For most kids, it's their parents want them to have a cultural connection back to India. It has nothing to do with the music. Some of them don't like the classical music or dance, but they put their kids in it so that there's something there. A lot of Indians from India will say parents here are more obsessed with making sure classical music and dance is being learned than even in
Than
India.
at home.
For me personally, my parents had to made me beg for a year before I did anything because they didn't want me to put me in something and then have me drop out of it.
Yeah.
But I think for most kids, that's pretty much the you have to dance. You must learn some singing.
Yeah. Is that your experience as well? Yeah.
I mean, we might love it, but for many of us, it's whether we loved it or not, they would probably put us in.
Yeah.
Probably have the same story. For me, it was a little different. I was born in India, but I grew up mainly in the U.S.
Yeah.
And so,
May I ask, where were you born?
yeah, in South India. In
South
Kerala.
India. Yeah.
Yeah, and so similar story of having, you know, my parents were. One of my parents was very involved in arts and music and dance. So their interest has kind of fueled down to me, you know, making sure I got to try everything as a little girl, you know, like doing every dance, music, soccer, everything, all of the above.
Yeah.
And so,
Has it been true with any of you, the rest of you, that your parents did not really were not so connected to it, but that you were into it on your own accord, or is that not the case?
I mean, I think for me that was the case. When I told my parents I wanted to dance, I thought I was going to ballet class, except they put me in an Indian classical dance class, but they have no background, nobody in my family dances, and then I just learned to love it. They never let me drop out, I'll say that, even though I was like, I'm kind of tired, I don't want to do it anymore. But then after that, I just kind of stuck with it, because once you get into it, it's actually pretty beautiful.
It seems like a major commitment. I mean, you all are amazing. I mean, it's, right? It's,
We work really hard. When they are like, no, we don't want to practice this week. A month before a tour for us, we're practicing pretty much 3-4 times a week, 2 to 3 hours each.
oh, I can imagine, yeah.
And then we're always training in the office.
Who's doing this choreography? Wow.
Thank you.
Oh, amazing. See, my wife and I were just totally moved.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you guys came. I mean, even if it's a small audience, as long as it's an appreciation.
Oh, yeah.
She's too humble to
Say it herself.
So you asked how Indian classical arts are being passed on to younger generations, and Sabina's a rarer case. Like most kids get it if their parents are interested, and they might let go of it by the time that they're older. A lot of us stopped dancing when we went to college or we got too busy, started working. But Sahi has Anamika Navatman, which is a school she began where people like us can come retrain as adults, but also younger kids can learn pretty much anything in the gamut of North and South traditions in music, dance, and even for the younger kids, there's cultural repertoire that's not tied to the dance or music exactly. So it's a cultural sort of what's the word?
Center.
It's a center, but it's also just a place where this whole thing that you're asking about can thrive.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we all really have her to thank for
Oh,
us being able
nice.
to continue this.
Wow, so you're really a major force
Yeah.
around exactly what I'm...
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh, you all are by far the crowning jewel of my report, you know.